guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be taking a look at this Pteranodon. It's a Jurassic mini Pteranodon, and it is a roar striker. Forgot about that because I always forget what these new Toyland waves are. I kind of just go off Fallen Kingdoms. So, the box is the same as every single other one, so I'm not going to cover it. Just going to kind of quickly show you what it looks like, except for one part I do want to go over this. It has Ichthyovenator, the new repaint of Rajasaurus, and the new repaint of Triceratops. But anyways, let's just jump into this review and start reviewing the actual figure. Thankfully, unlike most Mattel figures, this one does not have a tail that you have to clip on, which makes you be able to just take this out and just start playing with it. Let me just pause this for a sec. Okay, now that we have this Pteranodon out the box, let's take a look at it. First, let's do articulation since the wings are already folded up, we can just kind of start with that. This thing's wings fold out like this. It has pretty good coloring on it. And then also it has articulation on the wings. Actually, I'm surprised about that because usually these wings are not articulated. Usually you have to, those are the actual action feature, but not this time. Here are the legs, which is the legs move inwards and not very far outwards. They honestly only do this, surprisingly. They do twist. That's a little bit, they move in and out, and they do twist, but they kind of just do this. Which is, I'm not sure if that's always the articulation for these big Pteranodons, but it might be. This is a chunky Pteranodon. A very fat Pteranodon for some reason. It also has, like, the bottom are not covered up, which I think, that's strange. Usually these are covered up. Yeah, that's strange for this figure. But anyways, let's see. The head has really good coloring. It looks kind of like Geostenbergia, the Jurassic Geostenbergia coloring. And the mouth has articulation, along with the neck has articulation, which just links to the action feature though. And to show you guys the scan code, you just pull up. And to show you guys the scan code, you just gotta pull up that little flap on its back. And then there you go. There's a scan code for the Pteranodon if you guys would like to scan it into your Jurassic Facts app. Next, let me show you guys the actual action feature. Action feature is this button on top. You can press it. It chomps. That's strange. I think there's only ever been one other of these big Pteranodons that had a chomping action feature. And that was like the dual attack ones where it had the chomping action feature. And then it also had a button where it made the wings flap. But yeah, there's the Pteranodon. Its wings are a little bit skinnier, I think, than the usual Pteranodons. So I think this might be partially a new sculpt. But yeah, let's move on to the actual detailing. So the head has the typical Pteranodon sculpting. Then here it has a wrinkly texturing all over it. It has no proto feathers, I guess. Here's the legs, having really detailed feet. The wings with the hands, and then going down to the tip of the wings. Here's the stomach. It has the sound box for when you make sound, it can do this. Then it has a lot of little veins on the bottom of its wings. You can kind of see in it. And that's about it for detailing, besides there's a little tiny tail at the end. And the Jurassic World logo right here. Next, let's figure out the size of this figure. This figure is a pretty decent sized Pteranodon, especially. With its wingspan being about 16 inches. Slightly, a little bit over 16 inches, so I'd say maybe almost 17 for the Pteranodon's wingspan. But from beak to foot, it is about 8 inches, another 8 inches from beak to foot. And then in height, which it doesn't really have height, but all the way up from the ground to its crest, it's about 2 inches. Next, we should do a quick size comparison. Very quick size comparison. Here's the old Pteranodon. I just customized it to be a Ankylodon. My Ankylodon has a really long tail, so not counting that. The wingspan of this one is smaller than the normal Pteranodon, surprisingly, and the head is also smaller. This is the 6-inch one, so it might be bigger. I'm just not noticing it. And the legs are much shorter on this compared to the normal one's legs. flap. And this one has no sound effects. It just can open its mouth. Next, we have the Quetzalcoatlus, which can actually flap its wings and chomp like this. And compared to this, I think it may be about the same size. Actually, it's slightly smaller because the Encalodon is slightly bigger than the Pteranodon, but it's really close in the same size. It's a little bit smaller. Next up is the next few pterosaurs, also known as the Sungopteryx, the Tapejara, not Tapejara, Pteranodon, and, well, Dimorphodon, which let me show you this image from above. But that's them. They're all... And finally, we have a human to compare it to. This thing is huge compared to the human. And, yeah. The human is about the size of its head. This thing is absolutely huge compared to it. It's probably bigger than any other Pteranodon actually was. But, yeah. My all-in-one thoughts. Do I recommend this figure? Yes. If you see it, I recommend picking it up. There's lots of Pteranodons. If you're not a fan of this paint scheme, you probably can get one of the older ones, or another one that probably is coming out. Okay, they keep on releasing a giant Pteranodon. And it also has teeth. I forgot to mention, to the inside of the mouth. So it has teeth up there, tongue, and then the lower jaw has painted teeth, which is surprising. Usually the teeth are not painted. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. This figure is about a 7 out of 10. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Hello there. I'd like to let you guys know that, well, let me show you. We've got merch. So, please buy some merch.